comes. Grey Guys here. How you going? Neumann. What's going on, Neumann? Is that a song even? Oh, God, look at the mess. Look at the bloody mess. Scheisse. It's, what do? It's just, when you get the call, we've been waiting, and the sandblaster says, I'm ready for you, bring it round. And I'm like, give us till the morning. And, yes, we got this thing off. The, yep, the pop top. Very weird pop top. It's got this weird concertina thing. Oh, and this is the base that sits in the roof. That took at least 100 screws to get that off. That was pretty out there. The timber frame is a little bit worse for wear. There's a little bit of, get some good light there, Grego. Some re-screwing needed, etc, etc. And then the fiberglass gets, the strips are actually, it's still screwed to there, so it's all, I wanted to keep it all together. But that's the operation. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do with that yet, as regarding to how to replace it, how to make this very UK bus, like that concertina part is just completely zero air getting through there. Fair enough, zero moisture that you get in the UK, but it's just totally impractical for Australian things. So how do you know it was a UK bus? Little things like the actual bloody heaters are hooked up. It's a miracle. Where'd I pull those things out? Oh, these things here, these little bloody floor vent thingies. You know, they've got the cables here that go into that, and it's bloody, pull that and get some hot air in your feet. That's the last thing we need. It's like 40 degrees today. Oh God, we pulled out this side glass. You know, and another thing, how do you tell it's a UK bus? 3 glass in there that's bloody fixed. All the glass is fixed. It's like, how do you get your airflow when you're lying in your bed at night? So we're going to Aussify this bus, and we're going to put in multi-sliders. Probably put bloody 4 of them in. And the owner was even talking about electric aircon, and that's another discussion for litres. But yeah, that definitely needs some repair. So, of course, it's the old 1600 with the not so great exhaust that bolts in it, out the side there like that. Look at me bloody hands, like, just look at the crap everywhere. Who'd be a mechanic, I tell ya. So yeah, we jacked the bus up, used me big boy stands, undid some bolts, and of course all the cables going to the heater boxes, these things here were all hooked up. So fully operational heater system. Yeah, unless you're living in the southern states, not really the main priority here. So we've stripped that out, and we're going to cover up the bell housing. We're going to cover up the wiring for when it gets blasted. But yeah, basically we already know most of the sins on this bus because we've already hacked into it. So we've got new quarters for it to go on. These sort of patches, generally Andrew makes them himself. We've got the 1 year model only dog legs, 72. They've got the early step and flat lip. Hang on, I'm bloody getting some bit of confusion happening now, so I've just got to have a quick look at them. So, yes, they have the curled lip. I've got them bloody tucked in there. So, a curled lip and an empty, an early step. So yes, 1 year only, twice as expensive as normal, either, you know, early or later steps. And as you'd expect, you know, when I drove it round here, and yes, it hasn't been driven for months, but put a jump pack on her and just wind that, like, pump that fuel through, and she's good to go. Still driving good. Yeah, but you're just doing a bit of Bluetooth heel action there. So yeah, so that's it's basically blast time, blast off. I've got to clean all this mess out tonight. So how they did this weird top is basically used the skin of the skin of the roof. This would have been like flat out this way. So they've folded it up all the way along, all the way around, and that's created a structural part of the roof where the timber that's set into the fiberglass all gets screwed. And have a look at how many holes there are. And that's not the worst part. It's not so much unscrewing the rusty screws from there, but everything was covered in foam. So you had to go along and just bloody feel another screw there, and oh god, it's just taken for ages. So, but we're just about there. Andrew is getting the engine lid hinges were completely knackered, as in rusted out. Just campers. Spend a pretty penny there. So yeah, basically we're not going to get Dave to sandblast the front because we have a whole new panel to go on the front, so there's wasting any time to be working on that. So we'll get him to blast a bit across the inner support, but you can tell that that's going to need some love anyway. So I doubt that it needs a whole new panel, but it definitely needs cleaning up. So yeah, same thing, probably not worth worrying about the floor there, but just blast all the rest here. Yeah, so that's it. Oh, I've got to take that off so that we don't blast the blue plate. We've taken the compliance plate off, and there's a sticker that had something to do with the seat belts that was put in by the UK. So yeah, that's it. But because of the design of this pop top, it's not like the Aussie ones that sit in the gutters. It just sits above it. You know, we've got good gutters. I got a heap of crud in there, obviously, but there are actually no rust in the roof. No. What else have we noticed? Let's have a look at the doors. Look on the outside. Other than the very light bubbling of the paint, which doesn't matter because it's getting stripped back. Well, there you go. Absolutely no surprise there. So, talking about factory faults, zero rust in those doors because no side intrusion bars that came in the early 70s. Australian design rules, stupidly designed a cross thing there. Let me show you on old mate's doors. That bloody bar across the bottom there, the gap, side intrusion my ass, as if that's going to save you, but that gap there is too close, so crud and moisture would build up between the bottom skin of the door and the outer skin. Look at that. bloody dry as a bone. So yeah, major flaw when they put those side intrusion bars, probably for Australia only models. They should have put them up higher, like even a centimetre higher would create more of a gap there, less chance that shit can get stuck in there because moisture comes in over time, blah blah blah. So anyway, don't want to babble on too much, but motor's out. We're going to load this onto the trailer, and oh, Andrew's he's gone walking off into the distance. He hates being on videos. It's funny. I said, you know, I'll be dead one day, you'll have to take over, and he'll be going, no, there won't be any more videos once I pass to the light, if you believe in that stuff. But anyway, we're getting there. Yeah, it'll be nice to see that all bare, because we will be able to tackle, I'm sure there'll be filler there and along there. You can see the bubblage starting. You know, as I said to Andrew, you know, we can get a couple of new bottom pieces of those. We've got a heap of the panels already, probably not all of them, but most of them. That was that added up to quite a bit, but it's worth it. So, and some things like this here, will get repaired before the wheel arch goes on. So the wheel arch will go on after that. But one thing we're going to have to do, I'll probably explain it in the last video, is removal of these belly pans. They can go. When you hit them, you can hear the rust on the other side of them. But having said that, the floor itself looks good. That's probably what preserved the floor. The belly pans took the hit. But what we're going to do is get all this blasted, and then we're going to get it up on a hoist and cut the belly pans off, because they are welded in place. So that's it. That's Neumann. Because I got the message from the sandblaster saying bring it in, then we just had to stop everything, get that motor out, get all the interior stripped out, pop top off, all that was a priority. And so the mousse now, while this is at the sandblasters, mousse can come in and get its polyester done. I'll just show you these little fill-in panels. There you go. Andrew welded, he's always tacked them in, hasn't got much left to do. So it's based on, you put the Lowlight grill in, you get your measurements off that, and then basically it looks like a Lowlight nose. So, oh my god, anyway. The old debate, nothing gets people talking. Nothing gets the internet on fire. Two things. What oil should I use in these motors? And then you post a photo up of your car with a fuel filter in the engine bay. Oh my god, everyone's going to die. That looks filthy, actually. I could do with a new one. Yeah, cable ties, not ideal, not as good as clamps. As you know, as some people say, they've been running a fuel filter in this location. It was cable tied to the coil. I wouldn't recommend that. The fuel filter in the engine bay for all their lives, like 40 years. I know it's not the proper place to put them, but you know, people do and are fine with it. So the point is, you're much more likely, well, other than perished fuel lines, as in split, the barb coming out of the carby, that just, with the clamp still attached, the hose still attached, and it comes out from the carby from vibration, and it's just blowing fuel all over the motor and shushka. So yeah, that's it. I thought I'd give you an update. Now it's time to have a bit of a clean up. Oh, another sign that it's a UK bus. This bad boy's got the preheat on the oil bath filter. So air goes in there, and it obviously gets filtered in the oil bath and then into the carby. But there's a tube, that's the tube attached to it, and that comes off this little side extra tube that has basically exhaust heat going to it. So yes, you don't need that in Australia either. So yeah, you can just tell the subtle little differences. But anyway, we've got a bit of work to do underneath as well. That is all gone. Basically the bottom of the chassis will need a complete reworking. So there'll be some heavy gauge welding going on under there, but it's got to be done. So yeah, easy peasy, happy days. Talk to you later.